Hello and welcome to Marketing Margaritas. I'm Jade from Rebel Nation, and today I'm going to be talking about I already have to look down at my notes. It's a good episode. Building a strong network and what it can do for your business. So this is just a soundbite episode, which means it's just a little shorty one, which has come from an FAQ that I had from some recent workshop surveys that we did about people wanting to learn a bit more about networking and engaging with their local businesses and stuff and how that can help their business. So first up is why find your peeps. So why do you want to, find your business network or increase your network? Obviously, the more people that you know, the more that you can be aware of people who could potentially help you in certain situations, but also people who know you means that you could help them in certain situations as well. So it's, having a network, it's not like you're just there to use people, but it's one of the advantages of having a big network is that you can be referring people to them and they can be referring people to you. And that helps build those connections and stuff. And you're all just basically helping each other to make things happen and, to grow your business, etc. Plus, I think for me as well, there's a lot of enjoyment when it comes to I'm talking to someone and they're like, oh, I'm looking for someone to do XYZ. And I'm like, oh my God, I know the best person for that. They're super cool to work with. I'll send you their details. So there's a real sense of, I guess, fulfillment in being able to kind of provide a solution to someone else's problem as well. But then, that comes back to you hand in hand too, that others can provide solutions to your problems too. So where to find your peeps? This is where you need to get networking, both online and offline. So make a goal for yourself. I think that, whether it's online or offline networking, people can sometimes be a little bit nervous about putting themselves out there. And so I find that if you set yourself a goal, then you're kind of more focusing on that and achieving that as opposed to worrying about putting yourself out there as much. It lessens it a little bit. So what I mean by a goal is that, for example, offline networking, you might decide that you're going to try one networking event a month. So have a look at all the different industry groups and chamber and all that kind of different places that are holding events and everything in your area and try at least to go to one a month and try lots of different types as well. Although it's really useful to obviously go back to the ones that you really enjoyed, if they're kind of repeat events or whatever, trying different ones I highly recommend because you never know where you might find good connections. So if you make it a goal that you're going to go to one event and at least talk to one new person, so, probably going to find people that you already know there, definitely catch up with them, but try and talk to at least one new person. You don't need to talk to 20 new people. Just one I find is useful. Sorry, I'm distracted because my cat is meowing at the door. And then when it comes to online networking, so think of things like LinkedIn, you might have a goal of, okay, this month I am going to get my LinkedIn profile up to scratch. And then next month I am going to try and do just one post a month. And then the next month I might try and do 2 posts a month, and you might be happy to sit on that one for a little while. And then you might set yourself a goal of, okay, I'm going to reply to other people's posts, and I'm going to try and do at least 2 comments. So just setting these little incremental goals to make it be yourself, so that you're focusing on that and not the task at hand. And then lastly is how to keep in touch with your peeps. So once you, going out there and you're finding people, how do you keep connecting with them and strengthening relationships? Again, this is online and offline. So online, connecting with people on LinkedIn, so sending them through a connection request, but then also continuing that relationship and talking to them. I find too that when I meet someone, because there might, especially if I've had a really good connection with someone, there's a chance that they'll be top of mind for me for the next week or so. And so I'll generally, because I read a lot, so I'll see a business article or something, or I'm like, oh, that's what we were talking about. I'm going to send that through to them on email because I'm sure that they'll find it interesting as well, sort of thing. So, just remembering to keep touching base with them. And then obviously for offline side of things is actually going back to events. Apparently it takes us 7 hours of time together to trust someone. So whether that's like talking online or actually in person. So if you think collectively how long it'll take to build up 7 hours, like there's a bit of time there. But you'll know once you hit that point where you have like a really great connection with someone, you like each other, you trust each other. And, like for me, for example, some of my business connections have actually become some of my very best friends. So it's, you really build those strong, authentic relationships, and it pays off in more ways than just a commercial sense. Okay, my wrap-up tip for today is to support local as well. So when you're buying from other local providers, wherever you can, like not only obviously is it a cool thing to do, like we all want to support local and buy local and be part of that local business community and improve our economy together sort of thing. But it's also really useful for growing and strengthening your network as well. So, get to know who those local providers are. And it's like, just because someone's local doesn't mean that they're necessarily going to be good at what they do. Like it might take you a few goes, but if you do use a local provider and you don't necessarily like the service, I see a lot of businesses who will go, like, they'll try one and be like, all local blah blahs are shit. And so then they just go looking elsewhere sort of thing. So I recommend, it's like anything, like give people a chance, have a few different goes and, try and find that match for you, that those local suppliers who, really work in with your business and work with you. I know for us, for example, like some of the suppliers I've been using since the very start of my career, like 20 years ago sort of thing, are still the ones that I work with today. And I know, and that they basically whatever I need, they can do for me. So strongly recommend that you buy local. Lots of great reasons to do that. Thanks for tuning in and cheers.
Thanks for listening to this episode of Marketing and Margaritas. Find more free marketing tips, tricks and laughs at rebelnation.com.au.